Understanding Loss and Death by Ascended Master Djehuty. Channeled by Tom Jacobs in 2010. Text read by Seal Stambro. Introduction. This volume of channeled material is about growing pains. If the teachings within it do not describe the growing pains you are going through as you now answer the call to evolve along your spiritual, which is to say, human path, they will probably stir them, or perhaps more accurately jumpstart them within you. Each of the teachings in this volume is intended to support you in your path of unfolding as a divine being having a human experience. The Ascended Master Djehuty's stated purpose is to support us in that unfolding, which is our evolution. How he goes about this is to reflect to us the truth of what we are experiencing, and at times this can be a trying process to go through. In the particular stage of evolution we are in now, we must come to see in what ways we as soul, as powerful divine creators seeking to learn about what it is like and means to live human lives in this dimension, have created all that we have experienced in order to facilitate that learning. Djehuty's purpose is to hold in front of us a mirror so that we can see precisely what we are doing and why. At times, it can seem an intervention by a friend interested in helping us catch ourselves in destructive patterns. We have been going along our way, living certain parts of our life, informed by habits we no longer see with clarity, and someone in our life pulls us aside to tell us that there is a problem that needs addressing. This person tells us that he or she is doing this only because he or she cares about us and doesn't want to see us hurt ourselves any longer. This person possesses a perspective on us that we do not have or have lost over time by being habituated to making certain choices, and that view on us is one that parts of us probably find very distasteful to acknowledge, let alone deal with. We might not know how to deal with it, and our friend has already done some research on tools and methods and offers to support us along the way. Djehuty's main mirror so far in my relationship with him as a channel for his teachings is about our true natures as divine, powerful beings creating all that we experience. I speak from experience when I say that there are times when looking into this particular mirror is difficult. Even when we accept the intellectual notion that we have created all that we have experienced, we have to begin dealing with healing and caring for specific parts of us that feel victimized in one way or another. For as long as there have been humans, we have been learning in one way or another that we are powerless, or that we probably will turn out to be. This master brings us this simple truth now. We have created it all. We are source, goddess, God, creator. All we have experienced, we have chosen to support the learning journey of the soul of which each human life is one part. Just as the mirror your loved one holds up to you in that moment of intervention, the teachings in this book are not sugar-coated, yet they are also not intended to be confronting, though many of us might experience them that way, given our reluctance to see the truths reflected in the mirror. The teachings are intended to show you yourself so that you can really and truly see what it is that you have created. But this is not enough. They also explain why you have created it, and this is tremendous support in a process of healing all that has seemed to have happened to us in the past, both in this life and in all other lives. It seems to me that we cannot change a pattern until we understand the triggers in us related to it and why the pattern began in the first place. In the case of experiencing the teachings in this book, this is meant to show you how to shift your perspective on why painful things happen the way they do. It is designed to support you in elevating your consciousness to adapting to a view of yourself as an immensely powerful being, which you have always been and continue to be. Over the last few years, I've spent a lot of time with this master. The first couple of years I spent learning to begin the process of opening myself enough to take his vibration in. I knew from the day I first met him that working with him would change me. I knew that if I really took in what he was offering and lived it, and then took on the task of bringing it through me and articulating it for others, everything would change. At first, his teachings came through to me as though from someone in the next room. I would hear a muffled answer to a question I'd asked about soul and how life really works, and would have to listen very closely to make sure I heard the answer. After several years of slowly opening to this change, and now bringing this teaching through for others, he's now here with me directly. In fact, I feel at this point as though his teaching assistant. I have gone through much of my education and can support others in getting through theirs, even as I learn more from the Master every day. I've written a few books relaying the perspective on humanity and soul that he has provided, and now I am channeling him directly in volumes such as this one, bringing you his perspective directly. As I suggested in the introduction to my previous volume of channeling this being, Approaching Love, I suggest that you see for yourself if this information rings true for you and if his perspective is something you want to take into your mind, heart, and life. If it is, and you do, it will change you. For what does not ring true for you, look into whether it feels false or if it is instead simply difficult to take in. There is a vast difference, and you will be served by sorting out which feeling you have about which topic. It's all right if you find resistance within you to this material, and there's pressures on you to take it in. The best thing is to learn to recognize when some part of you needs healing in order to open to these truths, if what you find here resonates with you. This volume of teachings is of a different nature than Approaching Love, yet each volume aims to reveal to you the hows and whys of different parts of life. While there is some overlap between them, the central theme of each differs. The previous volume focused on love and relationships, and this one focuses on loss and death. As with all channeled material, the perspectives coming through are from a being entirely conscious of its multidimensional nature, with its eternal perspective filtered through a language machine, the brain of the channel, and intended to reach other beings, you, through their language machines, your brains. Therefore, there will tend to be overlap between the different channelings from the same being as he or she or it offers us its timeless perspective in a format that our married-to-time brains can process. Roll with the material and take in what works for you, and it will support you in shifting perspective and raising your vibration, always leaving you to exercise your free will in response to what he shows you. Djehuty invites you to do many things in these teachings. I would like to take the opportunity to invite you to do something as you read the material here. Evaluate with open eyes your reactions to this material. Take it in, and if it feels true to you, I invite you to get serious about loving yourself enough to withhold judgment of yourself in every way if you do not take it in, no matter the reason. In many of us, there is a part that would seek to judge us for having created painful experiences. And you are going to read many times here about painful scenarios that you have created that you are now dealing with and challenged to heal, process, and release. Being told that you have created the pain you have experienced can be very difficult at first, and each of us has a part that will want to jump up and pass judgment when such ideas cross our minds. Our greatest asset is self-love, and our greatest impediment is self-hatred, of which self-judgment is a form, but one sometimes passing itself off as or disguised as love. So just choose not to judge. Choose to love yourself for having created an incredibly rich educational experience for yourself as soul, learning what it means to live as a human in bodies and in place-times like these. One note for those of you who have read Approaching Love. In that volume, which is a collection of channeling sessions, you read "Thank you" at the end of each of the 7 sections. That is me thanking Djehuty for sharing the teachings with and speaking through me, and it serves to officially end a channeling session. I included it at each spot in that volume to remind us to be thankful for this being offering us this incredibly valuable and healing teaching. This volume is, in effect, one long channeling session spread out over several weeks on the Earth timeline. As a consequence, there is just one thank you here, at the end of the session, the very end of the book. Let's all be grateful as we read these teachings and let them in so that they can support us in shifting consciousness about who we really are and why we are here. Tom D. Jacobs, Tucson, Arizona, January 14th, 2011.